Hey guys, it's Marguerite and it's time for One Piece Manga Chapter 875 review. It will be a very short and spicy review because yet again this chapter was very boring. I had fun reading it the first time, but this is a problem with One Piece that I find, and I'm sure other people have it as well. When you watch an episode, it's very fun at the first time, but it's very difficult for you to go and rewatch the same episode like a few months later. And the reason is that there are so many things happening in that episode that you do not care to see. So instead you go on YouTube and you type in your favorite moment from that episode and you continue to watch. Now this is the thing that has been happening recently. It's not always been like that. Sometimes I think it takes too long for One Piece to get to the main event. And the thing about it is that when you have an arc like Dressrosa and you have a fight like Doflamingo versus Luffy, that fight was supposed to be the sickest fight of the century, but it was not. The reason is that there were too many breaks between that fight. And in order for you to enjoy the actual fight, you have to go on YouTube and have someone who went through the entire episodes and edited the fight so that all you can see is the fight itself and not all the fillers in between. The fillers ruin the fight. Now here in this chapter, a similar thing has happened. Now the chapter was very, it's very compact. It had a lot of things happening in it. But I'm not a fan of how the chapter ended. And I'll tell you why. The thing is, I don't like the idea of me reading something like a fairy tale, which is what One Piece has been essentially. Now the way the chapter ended was that apparently Chiffon went against her will and she's going to help Puddin apparently to bake a cake to save Sanji. Now it's very easy to understand where Chiffon is coming from and it's very easy to understand why Chiffon is doing this. But at the same time, it's also very easy to understand that even though Chiffon, like Lola, might be very, easy to sway in their minds and their decisions, it's also very stupid to think that she would trust Puddin knowing how Puddin can be. Now, it might be possible that in the end that Lola and Chiffon has some sort of a connection that no one else knows about. And Puddin won't really lie to Lola and Chiffon, and that's the reason why Puddin is getting help from Chiffon at this moment. The thing about it is that what if that's not the case? Then we'll know that there's also more trouble brewing up because Chiffon went out and she's gonna get killed. Now let's look at the chapter for what it was. We saw Luffy and Nami yet again running away from Big Mom, and this is the thing I don't like. It's been what, 3 or 4 chapters now that they've been running from Big Mom and still nothing has happened. And the idea is that they're stalling for something to happen, right? They're stalling for them to bake a cake or something, I don't know. But we started to see where the Strauss are finding about Big Mom's illness and where she really wants a wedding cake, and until she gets that wedding cake, she won't stop destroying stuff. Now, the idea here is that given that they're running towards the Sunny, and Katakuri and the guys are there, that's Katakuri and Perospero, we don't know where this episode is, this entire conundrum, we don't know where this entire fiasco is going to go. But in terms of the chapter, it was very good because we see some things happen that, we never really knew would happen. For example, we see the full power of Nami's new climb attack, given that she gave Zeus all her weather eggs and she exploded that bitch in Big Mom's ass. It reminded me of Enel. And something very important came out in this chapter as well. When we look at Zeus and Prometheus, as I was saying in my live reaction, I'm saying that you can't particularly fight Zeus and Prometheus hand-to-hand combat just like that. Jinbei showed us a way to fight them, and that's using their exact natural opposite in nature. So, Prometheus is a sun, you use water on him. And Zeus is a thundercloud, apparently. And, there are some things that conduct electricity and some things that don't. I'm guessing that you can find his polar opposite from that. Maybe Luffy can actually hurt him. But the main idea here is that only Brook can fight them 1 versus 1 in hand-to-hand combat for what we know so far. But given that Brook is, Soul King, he can manipulate the soul, he can control other souls, and he can beat other soul-inflicted, what would I call him? I'm calling him Omis for now. The reason is that in the previous chapters of One Piece, we did see where Brook was able to fight the Omis very easily, given that he's a Soul King. And even when Big Mom came around, she was a little bit surprised by how well he was able to handle the homies. And he himself said that, you know what, young lady, I'm called sulking. He never said that literally, but you know what, he said, I'm sulking. For that reason, I can do that. So that's very important going forward. Now, the other thing that happened in this chapter that I really don't like what's happening is Luffy's character development. It's the second time in the space of like, I don't know how long it has been, but literally it's been like 5 chapters. It's the second time that Luffy has stopped to fight in a situation where there is nothing to win. Why is Luffy fighting Prometheus? Is he stupid? Well, yes he is, but come on, your entire crew's life is at risk here. Well, not your entire crew, but still. You have your friends and your friend that you came to save. Their lives are all at risk. And you're going to stop to fight a freaking sun. Prometheus did what he was supposed to do. Kill King Bomb. Or, well, perhaps King Bomb isn't dead, given what we know of One Piece. But still, that's what Prometheus is supposed to do. King Bomb was your enemy from day one. Why are you so sympathetic that you're going to stop and fight Prometheus when there's nothing for you to win from that fight? If you were to get stalled by Prometheus, Big Mom is going to come and kick your ass. She'll get up to you, she'll kick your ass. You can't beat Big Mom. Why are you fighting Prometheus? It's the same thing he did when they were on the chateau, when he used his gear fort to fight Big Mom. Just because he wanted to land just one punch. Because of his ego. Come on, Luffy. Do be much more mature than that. It's been 2 years when the same thing killed Ace. It's sickening to know that he's still doing that. That's just me. And I'm not ranting, guys. I'm just being honest with what's happening here. You might agree, you might disagree, you might not. We also see where Chopper and Brook might get into a fight with Katakuri, but I think before that happens, we might see something else occur that really diverts everyone's attention. Now, we also saw where Chiffon and Pudding were flying on the carpet pretty close to Big Mom. So the plan, well, according to the plan, what would happen here is that Big Mom is going to be led away by Chiffon and Lola, and they're going to go to Chocolate Town. I think that's what it's called. They're going to go to the chocolate island that Pudding is the minister of, and they're going to bake a chocolate chiffon cake, and that will appease Big Mom's rage. So that's what we think should happen from here going forward. But you know, things are never as clear cut as we think it should be. So you know what, guys, this is my One Piece manga chapter 875 review. I have been losing interest in One Piece for the last 3 chapters because, you know, it's been god-awful slow, it's been god-awful poor in my opinion, and I don't know. I just think that after 875 chapters, or even 800 chapters, you would think that the pacing would be a little bit more smooth, a little bit more sexy, and there would be a little bit more interesting things happen. Thank you guys for watching, I appreciate it.